Welcome back to the Joy in the Dark podcast. I'm your host, Joy Felicity, and this is my co host, Sophie Isadora. And we are here with episode 4. This is our second part to costuming. From Mortals to Myths is the name of this episode. And we are going to get behind the nitty gritty of makeup, hair, and accessories. The importance of putting together the costume that makes you feel comfortable and beautiful. Why don't you go ahead and talk to us about some of the beautiful things that you have here?
Well, I have a little shout out to one of our local spots that is a great resource for any kind of accessory you're looking for. If you're looking for a tiara, if you're looking for an extravagant necklace, if you're looking for some beautiful earrings, anything that you need to kind of embellish and put those final last details to your ensemble for a ball or fantasy event. The place is called Dewberries, and it is located on Decatur in Las Vegas. I'm going to share some of the pieces that I have personally got and worn to events myself. This is by no means a full selection of what they have there, but they have. Do you want to hold that one up for me?
Yeah.
So you can get a lot of coordinated, fabulous things for your hair, bracelets. I'm wearing some earrings, necklace from another set that I have. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful things there, very reasonably priced. I know a lot of people have their go-to places. This just happens to be one that's in Las Vegas, and you happen to be in town. I know it's a place that a lot of people visit. So I definitely wanted to give a shout out to them because it's an easy little stop to make in order to kind of stock up on some beautiful accessories that will take you a long way into a lot of different ball and fantasy situations. Another huge resource that I wanted to talk about is eBay. eBay, you can find a lot of things. You do have to wait to find those things sometimes. You do have to bid to find those things sometimes, but it is worth it. It is worth it to be consistent and to be diligent about doing those searches. You can have saved searches and things will come up for you. But I always look in, I'll give you a little secret. My key phrasing is large vintage necklaces. So this is one item that I got. And the thing that kind of sets these apart from your more modern pieces, they're I think they're constructed just a little bit better. They are built to last. Usually, the chains that you see on these types of items are much more substantial. They're unique because a lot of them are not made in these designs anymore. So I think they are a huge, huge kind of little plus to your outfit, especially you can find it and you know nobody else is going to have that same one. The likeliness of that is so slim. So you have a really unique piece that you can love and cherish for many, many events and many, many years to come. And so those were my little kind of like special little tips when looking for accessories in terms of jewelry. Joy has a lovely headpiece on right now, and that's something you will see very, very often at fantasy events. There is no shortage of them. So maybe speak a little bit about those.
Before I get into the headdress aspect, which is the sky's the limit, one of the things that you need to understand about jewelry is it doesn't have to be expensive in order to get the job done.
Right.
Oftentimes, costume jewelry, vintage jewelry, things like that, they're low cost, but they really set your outfit above the norm. You can do this on a very inexpensive budget. You can find them at garage sales. You can find them on eBay, as she mentioned. You can find them on Amazon,
Etsy is a great place too.
Etsy. These big jewelry pieces can really make your outfit, and you can have them on, your neck, on your ears, your bracelets, rings, earrings, belts. A lot of the fantasy community uses it as belts or harnesses.
Mm.
And just that little detail really will bring out and make your outfit pop. So jewelry is super important. And there are so many different options that you can choose from to find what really tells about your personality and what you're trying to portray in the colors, the styles, the, you know, color of the metal, silver, platinum, bronze, rose gold,
Regular gold. I'm a
yeah,
regular gold girl. So
yeah. So it's important to understand that jewelry will really give your story and your costume another level of exposure to what you're trying to present.
yeah, another dimension.
Yeah. So, headpieces. Lots of people make their headpieces, and there's a lot of really, really cool things that you can do. Hot glue guns are amazing.
Glue guns are great.
Zip ties are also very, very easy to make and spray paint and do all kinds of
Mm-hmm.
things. This particular headpiece that I have, I used for a Greek event that I was going and did the Athena uh, goddess was where I was going with this. And this was two parts. So the first part came with this base right here. And then I got my fancy hot glue gun out, did the feather wings, then I did the flowers here, and I made sure that it was on a headband. And one of the nice things that I do with my headband, and I recommend everyone else does it too, is I put some rubber tips on the backs and the bottoms over here because that's going to keep it steady on my head, but it's also good for comfort.
100% good for comfort.
Yes. And sometimes these headpieces can be a little bit heavy and awkward.
Yeah.
So it's important for you to try them on, walk around in them, make sure that it is not something that is so big that you can't get into the car.
Right.
Because if that is something that's an issue, then you have to think about getting your headdress ready at the actual event.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's complicated hair that's going into it, you got to think about all of those things before the day of, because the day of, you try to put that headdress on and get into your Uber and you can't. And you have like put all kinds of braids and beads and feathers and things like that in your hair in addition to your headdress.
Right.
You have just, really caused yourself some harm and some hardships.
Yeah. And sometimes, depending on how you put your headdress in and how you incorporate it with your hair might be within the piece itself too.
Mhm.
So removing it is not an option. And we touched on this a little bit in our previous episode when we were talking about costuming, that importance of the dress rehearsal.
Oh, yeah.
Try the things out before the day of. It will save you headache, and it will save you from catastrophe potentially. So definitely.
And this goes with not just head dresses, but horns,
Oh, yeah.
antlers,
Veils.
hats.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the men are and women have hats that are incorporated into some of their outfits. And, those are some big challenges if you are trying to get into a car
Yeah.
or if you are trying to get into a smaller space.
Yes.
If you're a person of stature, door frames can be a challenge. So making sure that you're putting into your timeline, getting to and from the event, your entry points like door frames, also trying to carry your headpiece if you're going to take it with you to the event.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes having your headdresses for photos and then taking it off and putting it away in, on at your table, or taking it back to your car, and then having like a flower
Mhm.
or a simple, crown or whatever you decide might be your way to go in terms of some of the more elaborate headpieces.
Especially for dancing and whatnot. And I
Mhm.
believe there's a coat check at usually a lot of
Yes,
these events. So that
definitely.
might be another option for checking your headdress.
We definitely will have a coat check, and there will be some like bags and boxes that you can put your stuff into as well. So I think it's always nice when you go to events that have that, even if it's in hot weather
Mhm.
months, because you never know what people are going to want to check at the
Right.
door.
Right.
We have definitely seen that at some of the events that we have here in Vegas. When it's even hot in the summer, you would be surprised the things that people are checking at the coat check
Mhm.
in the heat of the summer.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. This is not applicable to me, as you see my Rapunzel locks, but to wig or not to wig? That is the question.
I am also not someone who wears wigs. I opt for hair extensions for a lot of these events. So I'll talk about those a little bit later when we're going to talk about our favorite topics. But I think if you are not going outside of something that requires you to wear a wig, hair extensions are a great option to enhance your outfit, and it kind of goes with that escapist idea and the full costume part of it. Sometimes we just don't want to have our regular day to day hair. And we want to make it a little special, or we want to make it a little more dramatic. And so hair extensions work great there. But wigs are definitely some of the popular choices. A
Yeah.
lot of people wear them.
Yes.
It's a really easy and kind of carefree way to, I think, add a lot to your outfit in that you don't have to do your hair. You don't have to worry about the heat necessarily and your hair falling out or your styling products failing. So I think there are a lot of positives to using a wig. But there's also there's wigs are hot. They're warm. It's a whole nother layer on top of your hair that you've got already. We know we like lose heat through our head, and with another layer on top of that, we've got, all that heat staying in. So depending on the environment and depending on the situation, sometimes it's not always your best option, but it's a very popular choice also.
Another thing that's really important with the wigs is you have to find the wig that works best for your head.
Mhm.
Wig caps are really important. If you have long hair, making sure that you get it into the right situation that is not going to pull and your wig constantly recedes. Taking bobby pins and
Mhm.
securing the wig to your head with the bobby pins, trying to get bobby pins that match the color of the wig is
Mhm.
really good. And also making sure that you do a trial run with your wig, because you could have your wig on and not really know that it's going to slide off in the night,
Right.
or that it's going to, get caught in every single person that you hug
Mhm.
or touch.
Mhm.
That's a big problem for any hair, not just wigs. But the importance of getting your prep if you're going to choose to wear a wig.
Mhm.
A wig is definitely something like the jewelry, like the headpiece, that's going to make your costume. If you're trying to have, this beautiful purple hair, and you have this, very light lilac color dress, that dark purple hair is really going to make
Yeah.
that dress pop out.
Mhm.
And I think wigs are really important if you're not wanting to do the hair extension route, if you're not going to use your natural hair, if you want to have curly hair, or if you want to have straight hair. It's a very easy option as opposed to dyeing, curling, straightening, those kinds of things. So the wigs are a great option, and they are definitely a common dress up factor in cosplay and fantasy balls.
I think too, kind of like you mentioned with the headpieces, maybe considering an option. Have the wig for the photos, have a wig for all of the beginning festivities, but maybe have a backup plan too.
Yeah.
That's always a good idea. I seem to remember a ball that we went to in October last year where you started off
Oh,
with
yeah.
a beautiful Bride of Frankenstein wig early in the evening, but then later opted to just let it all down and go with that. And I think that's a choice for a lot of people.
It I did a trial run,
Yeah.
and it was working out very well in my trial run, but, you know, I didn't keep the wig on for 6 hours going up and down flights of
Yeah.
stairs, trying to, hide under tables and working through some of the challenges that come with running an event.
Yeah.
So, the Bride of Frankenstein hair was abandoned after the first 2 hours,
Mhm.
and I just let my blonde hair show for itself. And I had more of like a zombie broken porcelain doll look
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
worked out well. I mean, it wasn't quite on theme, but I still looked different and like it was planned that way.
Yeah.
So
It
it
worked great.
worked out.
It
Yeah.
worked great.
Yeah.
Makeup. Want to move on to makeup?
Oh, yeah. Let's
Okay.
talk about makeup. So, we are going to share some of the things that we use, some of the products that we are showcasing, some of our things that we never go without. So, I will start first. I like to use a BB cream. BB cream gives me a little bit of moisture. The BB cream I'm using is made by Garnier. It's a skin active BB cream. It's got sunblock in it, even though I'm not going to be in the sun during my event, but it gives me a little bit of light coverage. It sets the base down for me to put my foundations. I get some moisturizer, I get a tint, and it takes away a little bit of the shine. I got the oily combo skin miracle skin perfector, and this seems to be a really good base for me. Um After I put this base on is when I start to do my concealers. My concealer that I find to be the absolute best is a by a company called Dermablend. They have so many different colors, but this will hide anything that you are trying to hide. It'll hide fine lines, it'll hide age spots, it'll hide the under the eye puffs. Very, very great concealer, and I just kind of use it a little bit as my foundation too, because I already have the BB cream on the base, and
Hmm.
so I take this Dermablend and just cover up any spot that I have, and then top it off with a powder. Then I do my highlighting, and last, I'll do like a setting spray.
Okay.
What are some of your base?
So my bases, I did not bring my foundation, but the foundation I use typically is from the company Youthforia. I like it because it is made with very good ingredients and that are good for your skin. They're good to be sitting on your skin for long periods of time. Also, if you happen to fall asleep in your makeup, which I'm going to be completely honest, sometimes after an event, the last thing I want to do is wash my face. I know that that is awful to do. So you don't need to tell me in the comments that that's awful to do. I know it's awful, but this particular foundation is designed to if you do leave it on your face, it's not going to be the worst thing for you. So I use that one. It has a great coverage. It's one that I have found that I've used many, many times at many different events, and it's just been one that's been consistent all the way across the board. So that's the one I use. But also, like Joy, I have a couple of different highlighters, and I think highlighting is really important, especially for fantasy events. It gives you that little twinkle, that little bit of that ethereal kind of glow to you that makes you look otherworldly. And I think it works for a lot of different types of fantasy events, whether it's a vampire, a fairy, a princess, any of those things. The highlighter is your best friend. I have two that I really like to use. One has more of kind of a silvery base to it. It is from a company called Nude Sticks, and the shade I use is Ice Ice Baby. Shout out to Vanilla Ice out there. And the other one that I use has more of a gold undertone to it, and it's by Color FX. And I can't see what. Oh, Celestial is the shade that I use for that one. Both are beautiful, beautiful, beautiful on. They blend really nicely. Either one, you'll be beautiful and glowy and all kinds of amazing. And also, like Joy, I use a setting spray. This setting spray is one size on till dawn mattifying waterproof setting spray. And I had my eye on this one and I hadn't pulled the plug in buying it yet until I heard a story. I don't know if this story is true or not. It could be the stuff of legends, but I will share the story with you. So apparently, Beyonce uses this and she would wear it in concert. And apparently, it was a torrential downpour in one of her concerts and she was flawless, flawless. And we're going to say it's because of this setting spray. Waterproof, mattifying. She was doing all the Beyonce things that she does on stage, and this held everything in place. So I've used it, especially in our weather here in Las Vegas. It's hot. This has come through time and time again. I love it. It does not smell great. You kind of feel like you're macing yourself a little bit, but it's worth it. It's worth it. I promise. It's worth it. So that is my setting spray. Those are kind of my tried and true. Have to have them as far as before any of the other particulars as far as your face goes, because that's also going to depend on the event a lot of times.
Mm-hmm. I find that Neutrogena makeup wipes,
Okay.
those are some of the best makeup wipes that will get off everything, including temporary tattoos.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of people are, getting the rubbing alcohol out or facial scrubs or all kinds of stuff like that. Neutrogena makeup wipes take it all off.
Mm-hmm.
They will take off the 24-hour makeup. They will take off the setting sprays. They will take off just about everything. And they don't tear your skin up, which is really nice. They're not burning like you would have that sensation with a toner or an astringent. So I find that works out really well. Also, it takes off eyelash glue, which is what I'm going to talk about next.
Love it.
I like to have drag queen lashes. That is my favorite thing to do. I already have dramatic lashes, but I like to add more drama to my eye zone. So I have scoured the planet for the best lash glue and the best eyelashes. There used to be a company here that I would buy my lashes from called Kira, and they used human hair, and it was all ethically given from haircuts and things like that. And I really liked it, but the company during COVID went out of business. So I went back on my hunt and I have found that this particular brand by Kiss, it's called Lash Drip, is my favorite dramatic with the wet effect lashes.
Okay.
It gives you that big, voluptuous lash line. It's got a good curve to it. They have several different styles, but this has been the best lash for me personally. And I don't use a traditional lash glue. I found these magical little things. These are strips of glue. I get them in black because I wear a lot of black eyeliner, so these fit for me personally, and my lashes are going to be black. So these little strips right here are a lot easier to put onto your lash. They're not messy, they dry really fast, and then they come off really fast. And when you're taking them off of your lash, they can just peel right off the lash, and then you take a little bit of makeup remover and just with a Q-tip go around the edges of it. Your lashes are clean. The strips make it easy. I do find that throughout the night, sometimes you have to put a little bit of powder over the lash because just like lash glue, if the lash glue starts to sweat or you're too hot,
Mhm.
it kind of reactivates the stickiness of the glue.
Right.
And so then your eyes are like permanently stuck open and you're having like all
Or
kinds
shut.
of, yeah, or
Or shut.
shut, which happens too. So these do have that issue usually about 3 or 4 hours in. And I find that just taking a little bit of, I use black eyeshadow because, again, I use a lot of black makeup.
Mhm.
So I just put a little bit of black eyeshadow on the lash line and I'm good again for another 4 hours. I also find that putting on the eyelashes before you have anything on your eyes. So I always put a base to hold my makeup in place, and I put the lashes on before I put the base on. So nothing is on my eye. My eye is totally nude, and then I put this glue strip on, and it's very easy to apply, very inexpensive. You can buy them on Amazon. This has like 300 strips, so that's essentially 150 wear days that you can wear it because you need
Mhm.
2 strips. It was $4. So it's even cheaper than some of the glues that
Yeah.
you can get. And it's the particular ones that I use are made with natural products. There isn't a lot of chemicals going on, and they don't ever irritate my eyes. I have had some issues with lash glue where my eyes start burning or I'm
We've
watering
talked
or
about.
things like
Yeah.
that. And I've never had that problem with these. And I have very sensitive eyes. So this definitely is another thing that'll take your look to the next level when you have false eyelashes. You don't have to wear false eyelashes. You can do mascara,
Mhm.
and I do mascara on my bottom lashes. But mascara is also a wonderful way to just embellish your lashes and make them kind of pop a little bit more off of your face.
Right.
Eyeliners are always wonderful, and you don't just have to stick with black. I mean, there are so many different colors now in the fantasy realm: silver, white, blue, purple.
It's a great time. Yes.
Yes,
There's just so
yes.
many options.
And for a long time, MAC was the only one that was like having those like crazy bright colors. But now I even see some of those liners in drugstores. So if
Mhm.
you're looking for budget, you don't have to just go to Sephora and Ulta. You could
Mhm.
go into Walgreens and you can find some of those colored liners.
Right.
They work amazing, not only just for your eyeliner, but also to draw on your face, doing
Right.
patterns,
The little face
pictures.
painting.
Yep,
Yeah.
they're perfect because they have that fine point.
Mhm.
And I think that that's something that's really important. Another thing that is important, we talked about wearing some long wear things. And lipstick is always something
We're
people
always
always,
we're always on the search
yep.
for the find of.
So did you have any lipstick that you got
I'm
today?
gonna save mine for our top 5 products at the end.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah, so I'm not revealing that secret just yet.
I'm going through some of it right now, and I won't tell you what they are, but I guess I'll be doing that at the end here. So I like to find the color that I want, and I always look for things that say like long wear, 24-hour wear,
18-hour
waterproof.
wears
Yep, things
one,
like
yeah,
that. When I'm looking for lipsticks, I'm also looking for things that have like a moisturizing aspect to it because as the day goes on, your lipsticks start to dry out just like your regular lips do. So
mhm,
making sure that they have some kind of um lubricant that will help keep your lips
right.
moisturized and not take away from the color is really, really important.
Yeah, agreed.
A little trick for getting that off, if you need to get it off for some reason, is you can just, and you don't have a makeup wipe, is you can take chapstick or you can take lip gloss
Mhm.
and just lather it on there. Take your towel and just wipe it off
Yeah,
because sometimes we do find that we don't want to have the lipstick on anymore, especially if we're going to eat
yeah,
or, go and drink lots of things. Most of the lipsticks will stay off your glassware,
yes.
but there are situations, especially if you have anything plastic, where that long wear might come out off
Mhm.
on the plastic. We are going to take a quick break because we want to share an exciting place that we have found here in Las Vegas, and we think that you might like it too. And if you have any spooky places or cool places that are in your neighborhood, we would love for you to share them and we might talk about them on one of our next episodes. So stay
Absolutely.
tuned. We'll be right back.
Looking for a slice of something a little bit different? Slice Pizza in Las Vegas is where classic pizza meets a little bit of the unexpected. From handcrafted slices to their signature black pizza dough, Sliced brings a dark and unusual twist to one of our favorite comfort foods. The space is filled with unforgettable photo opportunities with some of your favorite movie memorabilia, from encounters with Art the Clown and Jaws to classic monsters like Frankenstein and the Bride. Slice Pizza also hosts a comedy night on the 13th of every month called Vegas is Dead. This is the perfect destination for horror lovers, pizza enthusiasts, and anyone looking for a dining experience that's anything but ordinary.
Our little community treasures. Every week, we will be talking about different places. A lot of them will be from Las Vegas, but sometimes we do travel to other places and we want to share some of the places that we found on our travels. As we get around the St. Louis time, we'll make sure that we showcase some of those places that we found in St. Louis. And again, we would love to hear from you all and some of the places that you have, and we want to share that with some of our guests. Well, we're going to continue on with our second part of our um, getting ready for the ball.
Yes. So we left off on makeup, and you might be thinking to yourself, well, we didn't talk about eyeshadow or blush or any of those things. And I think that is so unique to each person. And depending on the event you're going to, those are going to look drastically different. So maybe in another episode, we'll talk specifics about if you were going to this type of event, what would we do as makeup? Or if you were going to that type of event, what would you do as your makeup? And we'll get into more particulars there. But for this, we're just kind of giving a general overview of our like tried and true favorites and ones that we can kind of stand behind that we recommend as far as your go-to things that will not leave you hanging and will not leave you searching for something else or looking like a drowned animal of some kind. So,
One of the other aspects of makeup that we also are not going to talk a whole lot about is going to be nails.
oh yeah.
So we don't personally, we're not big fake nail people. However, nails can definitely be a really, really cool part of the accessory that you're trying
Absolutely.
to portray. It can be as simple as, a French tip manicure to coffin shaped nails that have gems all over them and
Mhm.
little charms and things like that. Nails are really going to be what you find comfortable for yourself
Mhm.
and how you want to complement your outfit with your nails.
Mhm.
Same with your feet. You can have a pedicure if you're going to have an open toe. If you're not doing an open toe, who cares what your feet look like?
Yeah.
But if you don't want to have your nails done, there is an alternative, which we almost every single event will have on.
That's gloves. A definitely an understated accessory, but an accessory that really does pull together a costume. You have so much variety in the types of gloves you can choose. Joy has a couple over there. There are lace gloves, there are velvet gloves, there are
Short,
sheer,
short gloves,
short gloves,
long
medium,
gloves.
opera gloves,
That's right.
any length, any fabric, so many options. A lot of times I will just bring extra gloves along with me because I figure between the two of us, when we are putting together our costume, it's kind of one of those last little finishing touches that if Joy does not have gloves, I've got something that will work with many of her costumes. And we have done that in the
Which
past.
has happened multiple
Yeah.
times where I'm like, oh my God, I forgot my gloves. And this is why checklists are
Yeah.
important.
So important.
When you are doing your trial run, putting every single element down, including your gloves,
Yeah.
including the bracelet, including the earrings, including the bobby
All of it.
pins, the safety pins, whatever you need, because often you're not going to be able to find beautiful
No.
velvet gloves in the community
No.
that the ball might be at.
Right.
So
Right.
she has definitely saved the day for me multiple times. There are some little tricks that you can do if you want to use your phone. Um, the trick that I do, I don't recommend, which is just cutting the tip of the,
Here's
but there's another way.
Joy has no fingertip in all of her gloves.
Not hers. I won't
If
cut
you look
hers.
at all of Joy's gloves, there is a fingertip cut off the top, every single pair of gloves. If you look closely, what I will tell you is that in pictures, it is not noticeable. It is not something you look at, and it is functional because for running an event, you do kind of have to have access to your phone at all times, which is why she does what she does. But it is something that definitely goes under the radar. I never noticed it until I noticed it, and then now I can't unsee it, of course. But that's just because I think it's a lovely little quirk that she has. So I think it's fantastic.
ET.
Yeah, her little ET finger. So I do not cut the fingers out of my gloves because I feel like that is just sacrilegious. I will never do it, but I do understand the function. So I laboriously take the glove off, put the glove back on all the time. And I've lost gloves doing that too. So it is not the best option.
There are some little things that you can stick onto the tips of the finger, and we will make sure that we add that into the
Comments.
comment
Yep.
section so that you understand what that is. But there is something that you can stick onto the gloves that allows you to use your phone. I don't know what that is right now because I'm a finger cutter. So um, you know, we'll make sure that we add that to the comments because I've had several cosplayers. I've also had people that I've met when I have been in upstate New York that are like, "Oh, you should put that on your gloves so you can use
Yeah.
because they wear gloves for the snow, not for a ball."
Oh, yeah.
And so they tell me that there's this little thing you can put on, and I will get that and put that in the comments.
That
But
would be helpful.
the alternative to the manicure is the glove. And the glove is a very elegant, classy touch.
I agree.
We definitely think that it really brings out the outfit. We get a lot of compliments on our gloves, especially when we stick, beautiful bracelets over the top of it.
Mhm.
Like
Mm.
it's just a gorgeous accessory that you can add on to any outfit. And it really just brings out and embellishes the outfit.
Yeah, and a lot of them are really, a really low price point. It's just
Hmm.
a little additional to add a whole lot to your outfit. Let's move on to the other category. These were all topics that we felt needed to be talked about, but probably not in great detail. But we definitely wanted to touch on some of these because these little details that bring your whole costume together. Do you want to touch on the first one?
I want to touch on the second one.
Okay, I'll
You
talk.
talk about the first
Okay,
one.
so body glitter. It is great. It is wonderful for fantasy events. It stays with you for a long time. It is hard to get rid of. You will find glitter everywhere for a while. So if you're going to use body glitter, use it. You'll look fabulous. Just be aware of the other side of it that it's going to stay with you for a little bit. But it's beautiful. It gives you that, again, like we were talking about with the highlighters, that ethereal kind of glow. Lots of options with body glitter, lots of colors, but it is we don't see it, I don't think, a whole lot. Um, but it's there still. It's there. I think a lot of people have opted for highlighter now, kind of to bring that glow, but it's still there. It's still in the
Fantasy,
community.
especially in
Yeah.
the fantasy, they want to
Yeah.
have the pixie dust kiss look.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
setting spray on top of your body glitter is a great, great way to keep it a little bit more intact.
Mhm.
It's not going to preserve all of it. Your body glitter is going to get off eventually, and it's going to get off on everyone else
It's
too.
gonna transfer.
Just part of the fantasy process. But if you put some on your arms, if you put it on your hair, just spray some of that setting spray on it and it'll keep it in place a little bit longer than it would have if you didn't put it on.
Also with body glitter, I think it's important to remember that a little does really go a long
Yeah,
way, for sure.
absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. A little bit goes a long way is a perfect segue to what we're going to talk about next. And that is deodorant.
Mhm.
Now, we want to talk about deodorant not only because it is a necessity, but also it is something that you need to take into consideration when you are prepping your outfits.
Yeah.
Not every deodorant is designed to be worn with a satin ball gown. It'll leave marks behind,
Mhm.
it'll leave remnants behind. There are things that are going to cause you to leave those marks and also lose it. So you're not able to maintain
Mhm.
a mm, no BO. Because let's face it, we're all going to be dancing. We're going to be having a great time. This particular event coming forward is in the summer.
Right.
The humidity is high. And so it's really important, not only for yourself, but for your fellow fantasy ball attenders, that
Yes.
you are up to date with your hygiene, and deodorant is important. The deodorant that I use is by Degree, and I use the Degree for black because a lot of things that I have are black, and it doesn't leave any marks behind.
Mhm.
A little quick check that I do is after I put my deodorant on, I take like a towel or a t-shirt and I just kind of like make
Do a
sure
little
I'm,
boop boop.
yeah, and
Yeah.
make sure I'm got a little dryness going on. It's important for us to maintain a good remembrance of ourselves.
Mhm.
And one of the best ways that people remember you is your smell.
Yes.
So you all remember grandma and tasting her white
Perfume. Oh,
diamonds
yes.
and her Elizabeth Taylor perfume. And we encourage you to wear some perfume that makes you feel beautiful and sexy, but make sure we can't taste it because we don't want to be reminded of you know,
Of grams.
grams.
Yes.
Yeah, might
Yes.
bring us to tears.
Body paint. Do you want to hit that one?
Yeah. So there are lots of opportunities for you to put different things on your body. And especially in the fantasy world, body paint is a huge part of bringing out your costuming. You see it a lot in cosplay, but also in fantasy. People are making the animal faces, they're making the designs for fairies, they're doing all kinds of embellishments, and paint is a great way of using it. But again, trial, trial, trial. Find paints that work for you. Make sure that they're long wear, they're going to stay all night. Usually, water-based
Mhm.
paints are the best things to use because they're better for your skin. Also, they come out of clothes a lot easier. Use your setting spray to put over the top of
Mhm.
them. Those are really important. As we approach our Halloween event in Las Vegas, the theme is Night of the Dead, or Dia de los Muertos, Day of the
Mhm.
Dead. And there's going to be a lot of body paint that we're going to be
Yeah.
using for the sugar skulls.
Yeah.
And I think that it's really important that you find the right paint that works for you
Mhm.
and also doesn't get all over the place
Mhm.
when you are active.
Mhm.
And we will do a whole segment as we get closer to our Halloween event on body paint
Yeah.
or tattoos,
Mhm.
using some of the temporary tattoos instead of body paint as an
Mhm.
option.
Mhm.
Making sure that like you have the right tools to do it, whether you're using airbrush technique, paintbrush technique, grease paint, where you have like the little sponges, whatever you need for your paint, you should make sure you do a trial run before,
Yep.
see what works, and get those Neutrogena makeup removers because that will take it off. No
Yep.
matter what it is, it takes it off.
Yep. And I'm currently trying out a few different paint makeup. It's not marketed as body paint, but I'm trying a few different paints on the face for in preparation for October. So we'll have some items for you like once we've
Yeah.
tried a few of
And
those.
we will be bringing on different guests that will be talking about some of the things that they do at our particular ball that's coming up. We're going to have a henna artist. We're going to have a face painter. We're going to have somebody that does gems on the teeth.
Yeah.
And we're going to have somebody that does the fairy hair, the tinsel hair.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of vendors that are coming that are going to help embellish your outfits and help you get to that point of uh, the extra mile for your
Yeah, yeah,
costumes.
yeah. It's going to be if you came and you were like, "Oh, I just didn't have time to do that butterfly wing on my eyes." Rest assured, there will be someone there that can do that for you. If you were like, "Oh, those that tinsel hair extensions that I ordered from Amazon didn't get here in time." Don't worry.
We got
We got you
you.
covered.
Yeah.
Yeah. So lots of cool little additions that you can add once you're there. All right. Contacts. This is something you cannot get when you're there. So put your orders in now if you are going to go with colored contacts. Joy and I, on our own, individually, uh, love the Coal Eyes Company. And we discussed it after we realized we were putting on our contacts for a specific event and
They were the
realized they were
same.
they were the same color, they were
Same
the same
company.
brand, same
Everything was the same.
everything was the same.
It was fun.
So we bonded over that because both Joy and I are not good at putting contacts in. She had her technique that she used, which was absolutely the opposite of the technique that I use. So we kind of both like traded our secrets of what works for us because it is a challenging task, especially when everything else that you're doing after the fact and putting on your makeup really relies on you putting these contacts in effectively and hopefully not crying the whole time that you're doing it.
Yeah.
So Cool Eyes is the company we like. And I'll hand that one to you so you can look at that one and talk
This
about it.
one is the Cosmic Gray, and we wore these for our Halloween event that we
Mhm.
did in New Orleans this past year. And they look awesome. They look kind of like uh
Kind of like a milky gray.
yeah,
They're very
they don't
disarming. They're
they don't look real. Like they really have like the uh Game of Thrones zombie eye
kind of
look,
spook
kind of.
factor. Yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah,
the White Walkers. That's kind of like the way
yeah,
that they look,
yeah,
these contacts were. And again, we didn't even realize it that we had both got the same colored
yeah.
contacts from the same company, and we were using them for different characters that we were portraying that night.
It was great.
I like them a lot because they are really flexible. So I have astigmatism in my eye, and sometimes my eye like twitches. I water a lot, and these contacts are really great for like the flexibility. Are really lightweight.
Mhm.
They didn't bother me a lot. I felt like they were also a really good price point.
Oh my gosh, they're great, and they have sales
Hmm.
all the time. They also send you a couple little extra little dealies to help put them in. I don't use these.
I don't
I
either.
use the fingertip.
Me too.
But they are there, and if you know how to use them and you are a skilled user of contact tools, I would suggest using them. Like, knock yourself out. But it was a nice little addition that comes with them. Like I said, great company. They arrive pretty quickly, and like I said, they have sales going on all the time. So if you haven't checked out Cool Eyes yet, check them out. They have a lot of different colors, from vampire to zombie to cat eyes to like just ultra crazy like fantasy eyes, like anything you can dream up for what you want your eyes to look like.
In addition
Yeah,
to
just
like
natural colors
brown,
too. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
blue, and you can even put your prescription in there
Yeah.
as well. They do
Mhm.
have that option to put a prescription in there.
Mhm.
Those ones are obviously going to cost a little bit more, but they do have the prescription option.
Mhm.
Okay, now is our favorite time. We're going to share our 5 must-have items.
Yep.
So, I'll do one and Sophie will do
Yeah,
one. And we will just go down the line and we will make sure that we include all of those in the link.
absolutely.
So I'm going to start with my hair.
Okay.
Uh, this is not your mother's dry shampoo. And funny enough, it's called Plump for Joy. I
Mm.
find this dry shampoo to be very good at bodybuilding. It gives me extra volume. It doesn't leave the white residue behind. It does smell like mangoes. I can't smell that, but everyone else tells me my hair smells good. Really, really great product. I like to use this after I do my ball prep of braiding my hair all day, letting it have the natural mermaid waves. You can kind of see some of my mermaid waves today. And spraying that gives it an extra volume, gives it an extra lift. Love it.
Okay, I'm gonna also start with the hair. And I touched on them a little bit earlier when we were talking about wigs or no wigs. The hair extensions I use. I have tried so many different ones. I have had permanent hair extensions put in, loved them, but they're heavy. There's a lot of upkeep that comes with them. Hair extensions are a great, 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 fantastic way. And this company is called Full Shine. They make a lot of different options for hair extensions. These are clip-in ones that I use. Currently, lately, I've been using the 24-inch ones, little longer, a little more princessy, fantasy. They have a lot of different length options, lots of color options. But also, if you're looking to have the more permanent ones, like the wefts that are on the strips, they have those available too. I'm going to pull them out just really quick just to show you. Even my hairdresser has asked in pictures that she's seen, she's like, "Are you wearing hair extensions?"
They look so natural. They
They
match her perfectly. You can't
Yeah,
see them. I've asked her.
yeah,
I've watched her put them in, and I've still asked her, "Do you have hair extensions in?"
yeah.
Because they look so perfect. They
They're
match her so well.
beautiful and they blend, and I would suggest, um, doing what I did, and when these are coming in there, so weird. But doing what I did, and there is a color match person, that works for them, and you do a quick little consult, it is worth it because first time out of the gate, these were the ones that were
Yeah.
exactly my color. So they're great at doing their job, great company. I think they even sell them. I think they have a shop on Amazon also. So sometimes they will go on sale as well. But you can get them there.
Okay. After I put in my dry shampoo, I do this bad boy right here,
Oh, that's my fave too.
which is sexy hairspray. And I've used a lot of hairsprays over the years, but this one right here is my absolute favorite. It gives me just enough hold to keep my mermaid waves in place. It gives me a little extra volume. It doesn't leave a residue behind. And it smells nice too. This is my go-to for hairsprays.
Love it. Okay, I'm gonna do another shout out for Youthforia. This is another, they put really good things in their products. Again, they are not gonna hurt you if you are a lazy girl like me and you do not want to wash your makeup off. This is a color changing blush. It is like a liquid and you put it on and it reacts with the chemistry of your skin and makes brush. It's buildable. You can put little bit, build it up to however much color you want in your cheeks, but it's just a really nice feel on the skin. It's nice, it's soft. It gives you kind of that dewy look that I think is really good for fantasy wear too. So Youthforia, you have my heart. Like, I love all your stuff. So,
Something else that I use, it's made by Garnier. I like Garnier products. Garnier Fructis. This is an anti-frizz serum. I find that this works really, really well when I am in drier climates. So I
mhm.
just put a little bit on the tips of my hair. It takes away the frizz. It gives me kind of like a natural shine. It's not too oily, not too heavy. I think that they have a lot of really good products. Their leave-in conditioner is also a really good go-to. But this in particular is excellent because it doesn't interfere with the dry shampoo or the hairspray. So I like that. It smells good. It takes away the frizz. 100% recommend it.
All right. So, this I do not wear on my regular day to day. This is just for events. But it is something I always pack in my makeup bag. It is Urban Decay's, I think it's called Moon Dust. They have a lot of different colors, but as we kind of mentioned before, I love gold, like gold accessories, everything gold. Like, I very rarely am in silver or have silver accessories. It's always gold. So, this always comes with me. It's beautiful. It has a tiny, tiny little brush. A lot of times I will use it to add some glitter into my eyebrows, some glitter on the tips of my eyelashes. It is so universal. You can use it in a lot of different ways. Just a line of glitter to just make that black eyeliner pop just a little bit. It is beautiful. And it comes in a lot of different colors. I think there's a pink, there's a blue, there's a silver, but this one's amazing. This one's amazing.
Okay. So my lipsticks. These were the ones that I kind of talked about briefly. I really like the company Maybelline. They have this vinyl ink superstay. The trick to this is you put it on when you're putting on the rest of your makeup and like leave your mouth open and let it dry. It needs to dry in order for this to work correctly, but this will stay on all night long. Another lipstick that I like to use is also by Maybelline. It's called Super Stay 24-Hour Color. It has its lipstick portion on one side with this nice little applicator. And then once this dries, you have your lubricant on the other side.
Mhm.
And I often will use this lubricant with the vinyl as well so that I can keep my lips maintaining, a certain sense of normalcy.
Mhm.
And it doesn't come off. They do not come off on your cups. They do not come off when you kiss. They are great. Both of them in themselves are really good lipsticks. I found that, they're not the most expensive. They sell them in a drugstore, but they work really well for me, more than some of the other things that I've found in, Sephora and Ulta.
I'm going to talk about my last two kind of in tandem with each other. These go in my makeup bag at every event, but these are in my makeup bag for daily use as well. And it is my preferred eyeliner pen and my preferred mascara. And Joy kind of talked about earlier before, I don't often wear full lashes. I'll do kind of the piece lashes in the little segments because this mascara does what it needs to do and it gives you such length and such volume. Really great. But first, the eyeliner. We're going to kind of go in order of operations. So, Lorac Front of the Line Pro liner, beautiful tip, beautiful winged liner every time. It does not dry out very fast, so it gives you a lot of bang for your buck as far as in terms of it lasting a while. I get it in black because, but comes in a lot of different colors, but black is great. The mascara. This is the holy grail of mascaras. Hands down, I'll put it against anybody's mascara any day of the week. It is Thrive liquid lash extensions. And it is exactly that. It's a tubing mascara. So it coats your natural lash and just gives it beautiful length, beautiful volume. Amazing product. I buy it every single time. I rebuy it. I buy several of them just in case I run out. Hands down, best mascara. Fight me if you think that you have one that's better because this is the best stuff.
Well, we hope that you've enjoyed our show today as we talked about the ins and outs of our makeup regimens, our accessories, our gloves, our jewelry, little things that we do to keep us smelling nice and looking
Yes.
nice all day. And we hope that you will stay tuned for next week. Follow us on our social medias. I'm Joy in the Dark. She's the Sophie
Sophie Isadora.
Isadora. And our company is Joy in the Dark Productions. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, we're on all of them. And we hope that we get to see you in St. Louis coming up.